everybody, or afternoon, or evening, or night, whatever it is for you when you see this video. For me, it's morning right now in southwestern Ohio. I'm going to give a quick little story. I was thinking a few minutes ago, and this story crossed my mind. It's definitely a pretty crazy one, to say the least. It took place in Tucson, Arizona, somewhere around 99, maybe 1999. It could have possibly been, give or take a few years, I don't know, in that area. But I'm running around out there and, just looking to play, looking for action. Didn't have a bunch of money, had enough. Was with a real good friend at the time. I ran around with a whole lot over the years. We wound up, after going to a few different places here and there, and people sending us to this place and that place, and well, we finally wound up at this spot. It was like a bar, but it had on one side there's a bar. It was we knew it was some kind of a strip club, okay, and on the other side they had, I believe they actually had a couple diamonds there. But I know it was Gold Crowns and a few Valley bar tables, I believe. I don't think it was Diamond bar tables. It's been a long time ago, like I say. But we got to playing this guy, and come to find out, he was from Dayton, Ohio. He knew a bunch of the people I knew, and that we knew, me and my friend. But, before it got to that point, we was gambling some. And we got to playing like $50 9-ball. And the deal was, every time he drank a shot, I had to drink a shot. And if anyone said uncle, well, they had to, whatever, I think it was like a 500 or something. Like, if I was up 300, and I did a shot, and that was the end of me, I had to pay the 300 back plus 500. That's how it worked for either one of us. And back then I could play pretty good regardless of how much alcohol I consumed. I got to be pretty good at it. It was actually something I did with people sometimes just to get the game going, We'd do challenge matches, and a lot of times they needed a handicap. They knew I was a way better player, but they thought they was the way better drinker. So so we went at it, and whatever. It created a lot of action, a lot of fun in some spots. And so we're going at it there. I don't know, we're at least 12 plus shots into this. And this guy, he's running the joint. So he's going behind the bar making the shots. And let me tell you, my shots were, they was overflowing the cup coming out of there. And, I started to suspect something funny, getting into there. Because, he started to get a little more aggressive. I started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like, uh-oh. I go tell my partner, like, man, it's getting a little shady in here, I'm like, I don't know, I don't know about this. And, we just keep on going. I'm beating the guy pretty good. I mean, we're 600 or 700 winner at 50 a game. We knew he had no chance to ever outdrink me and keep playing, that is, as long as I could have crawled around the table, I probably could have still played pretty decent pool back in those days. And I figured him out. Like I said, I started to feel suspicious. And come to find out, I got a hold of one of his shots once, and he was putting Coke in his, and he was putting it was like a water and Coke mixture. It looked pretty close, but I was getting a little Coke in mine too to make it go down smoother. But he wasn't adding no booze in his. Or just no more than he wanted, because he drank anyway. But he definitely was just drinking his normal whatever, and I was drinking about 3-4 times the amount of alcohol he was drinking, I'm sure. But and I call it out. To that point, he was getting pretty heated up in there. I was starting to tell my partner, like, hey, I don't know if we're gonna get out of here with this money. It's starting to not look good, because 4 or 5 other guys had showed up, pretty good sized dudes, and they wasn't there to watch a pool game. And but now you got to hear this part of it so you get the gist of this whole story. We started seeing women. I mean, there's like women coming from everywhere. I mean, they're just dumping alcohol down their throat, screaming, hooting, hollering. I'm looking at my partner like, what the hell's going on here? Like what, and I mean, there's like, I'm telling you, without exaggerating, there was 100+ women. And we're not seeing any men. There's a few bouncers, and just the only man is me, my partner, the guy I'm playing, and these guys that showed up midway through it, that's just standing around back there, I guess, to, I don't know, to make sure we wasn't going to be winners that day, I guess. I don't know. but before you know it, here comes some dude about half naked. And these women walking behind him and all this shit. And we find out about that time it's a male strip joint. or it could have been years down the road now. They may have had a night where they just did something like that. It could have been a personal party. I don't know. But there was a bunch of male stripping going on. 100+ women getting drunk. And I'm back here with this guy that was definitely a tough character with his buddies, and it's me and my partner, and they're steaming at me to this point. They're pretty mad at me, like it was pretty brutal. And now the next part of the story, you got to understand, it's not exactly something that I would want to do. I mean, just for the hell of it. I wouldn't want to do this for laughs or nothing else. I mean, it's, you got to try to understand, I was truly scared. Okay, we were scared. It was getting very, very heated up. The vibe was not just, okay, they're a little mad, but we're gonna be all right. It was, no, it's not gonna go down like this. Like, they wasn't gonna settle for, well, hey, good shooting, have a nice day. It wasn't going to go down like that. And I knew that. To that point, I knew it, okay? So I'm sitting here just looking for a way out, trying to figure out what to do. It's getting wilder. He knows I done called him out on the alcohol thing. Basically, it's getting pretty crazy, okay? And there's a little argument ensues, okay? And I'm having to try to stand my ground. I felt like that's what we're supposed to do in that spot a little bit. So I'm standing my ground, whatever, a little bit. We're getting a little bit into it. And he's like, well, you ain't got no effing nuts anyway, M or F'er. Like, he says, you ain't got no balls, you ain't got no nuts anyway. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, and it hit me. And I'm looking around. And so help me God, I got witnesses. I mean, this is exactly what I did. I walked up to the pool table, undid my pants, and I laid my sack right there on the rail. Hey, and I'm telling you, I promise, excuse me, everybody, but I mean, my life was more valuable, okay, than my morale at the time. And well, some of the guys that showed up they looked like the pretty rough biker type people, I didn't want any part of any kind of a fight or nothing. And about the time I did this, About the time I did this, the guy's face, it went from a real aggressive, scary, I hate your effing ass look, to you seen his mouth just like go from, he tried to hold it in, he tried to stay mad, and his mouth just cracked open. And he couldn't help. From that moment, it went from hate to love in a 0.5 of a second. I'm telling you, it was like, literally, it was, I know it's definitely what kept something from happening there. I'm not going to say we was going to get killed over $1,000, but I think we very well could have been roughed up a little bit. I don't know. I can't say. But on top of, I was pretty drunk at the moment. And I was already way off balance. There, I caught him cheating, on the drinks. We find out we're in some kind of male strip club deal. 100 drunk women running around. It's getting crazy. And all of it together, it's, I found us a way through this. And it worked. It ended up working out really good. We ended up good friends with this guy. He's a great guy. I don't know if he's still around. He was from Dayton, Ohio, and he ended up moving out to Tucson. He's a really good dude, this guy was, man. His first name was Doug. Really good guy, man. And we ended up being pretty good friends the rest of the time, and he actually was able to steer us into some pretty good action, make a little money, and so forth. And needless to say, I had a pretty good impression there. It's... These people, I give anything for a picture of their faces, though, because I just, he said that I didn't have no nuts. He said I didn't have no balls, and I just like nonchalant. No big. I didn't do it, making a big scene. I just humbly walked up to the table and just laid my balls on the rail. I said, there's my balls. I said, where's yours? And then, listen, and just to say, look, I have a wonderful family. I have 2 amazing kids, and by no means am I sitting here acting like that's something to be proud of, okay? But to be out hustling pool, okay? This was a very long time ago. Very scary situation, okay? And literally, to me, it was the move. That's what it was. It's that simple. Because it's not that I've been stupid, but I've let myself get into some kind of goofy spots a few times. I was always a little bit low on discipline. I couldn't discipline myself a lot, so I got in some funny situations. But that could have happened to anybody. If you was on the road playing pool and you got in that spot, it could have happened to anyone in this particular spot. But so help me God, it happened just like I'm telling you, and it just it's And I'm gonna throw one more little bit of this to connect to this story, and that'll be it. But I did pretty well around there. I'd grinded out a decent little bit of money over a week or so, and we run into a spot, and they said, "Hey, there's some other player over here at this spot. He's looking to play some, $50 or $100 9 ball or something, and blah blah blah." And he was supposed to be. They said he was a college student out there, right? And this is a long time ago. So I go over there. He's in there hitting balls. Sorry about that. He's over there hitting balls, and I walk over there to him, and I'm like, "Yeah, you want to play some? I'm looking to play a little." And we started out playing 100 a game 9 ball, I believe it was. And I'm playing. Back in them days, I was playing pretty good pool. It took a pretty good player to beat me. It wasn't just going to be a a good player could get there. It took like you had to be a little bit above really good player to get there. I mean, it was, but so we start playing, and immediately it's just I know, like, after 5 minutes that I've got my hands completely full and some. And I hadn't been in any kind of tough action or anything like that in a while. And I felt like stretching out. I wanted to play some. And it ensued there. I mean, I remember out in Tucson, it's different out there playing pool. It's drier. The tables, unless you got the room with the right conditions, the tables are going to play drier. A lot big change. If you play out here all the time and then go out there, and you're gonna have to adjust a little bit. But we, I mean, it was like I remember I played some of my best pool, some of the best pool I'd ever played, maybe, because I mean it was just racks. I mean, I would run several racks. He would just run a few more than me every time. That was the only problem. His name was Alex Lely. He's from Europe somewhere, and he was over here playing pool. I know him pretty well now. He's a great player. He's from, I don't know what part of Europe, but I've seen him at a couple of U.S. Open, a couple of these other tournaments over the years now. We've always had some laughs about those times back then, and I just figured I'd throw one more little chop in there that kind of made it bring a little more pull into it. Man, it was in the same story. It's all connected to the same story. It was all together there, but it was, it was something. But he, great guy. At last, I think he's got a family now. I think he still plays a lot of pool. I don't know. Looked like he was doing pretty good last time I seen him at the Derby. But it was something else. It's amazing how, when you're out running around like that, sometimes you run into, someone else that's out playing like that, especially when they're from another country. It's pretty cool. And I don't know, I'm sure that happens still these days. I mean, it's, I know it's not exactly the same as it was back then. These tournaments actually play pretty good. It looks like some of these bar table tournaments, at least a few years back when I was playing, man, they was having some really good bar table tournaments. I don't know what's going on now, but yeah, that's about it for right now. And I mean, I've got some things set up with this GoFundMe and the Patreon now. I got Patreon on my page somewhere. It's I'm getting it all done. I should be hooked up in a better way really soon for videos, and I'm gonna definitely see about a couple people wanting to make a video, hopefully. And I'm gonna hang in there for a while. I mean, I really don't expect a bunch of people to just, like, give me any money. I'm not looking for that anyway. But if anyone appreciates my stories and they want to help a little bit, thank you. But I'm definitely not. I'm gonna hang in there for a few months here and see how things go. If nothing gets going within a few months, I probably won't pursue this avenue no more. I'm gonna continue doing the same things I'm doing with pool, but I'm not gonna go this route any longer. But thank you very much, people. Have a blessed day, and see you pretty soon.